So if I can maybe move us on to the second leg of this new survival strategy that you mentioned, which is to see beyond the story, which I guess my take is to kind of separate your story from, the fundamental humanity, the other person's story from their fundamental humanity. Maybe you can tell us a little bit more about what you mean by story, and what are the reasons why you do suggest for us to look past that story.
Yeah, this is really a crucial, right, piece of the puzzle. And I think where it starts is, so by story, what I mean is the sum of our life experiences. And when you think about your experiences, right, there are universal aspects to your experience for sure, and there's very personal aspects to your experience. And then there's also arbitrary aspects to your experience. The kind of experiences that you have as a woman is going to be different from the kind of experiences you have as a man. If your race is different, if your religion is different, your ethnicity is different, right? So many variables were predetermined for you on the kinds of experiences you have. Change any one of those variables, you would have different experiences, right? You would have a different story. Now, the reason this is important, and it comes back now to neuroscience again, is that we now know that our experiences actually shape the way our brain is structured. They shape the neural connections in our brain. And that in turn shapes how we see and understand the world. So our understanding of the world is the result of a set of experiences that are very subjective. And we think it's truth, right? And it's not that it's not true, it's certainly true for you, right? But it doesn't mean, what it does mean is though you have a very narrow view of the world, because that's such a unique set of experiences that created you, and you're looking through that lens. Now, the thing that I do in my workshop is I have people draw their life story, and I have them do it on a piece of transparency paper if we're in person. So they draw their life story on this transparency paper, and then I have them hold it up and look through it just to get that sense, right? Because you can hardly see anything. You've written so much stuff on this paper, it's just totally blurry. And then you turn and you look at somebody else who's looking through their transparency paper, and it's twice as blurry. So just to know we are looking at the world through our own perspective. And what tends to be outside our story are the things that trigger us, that trigger our fears, trigger our survival drive, trigger our rejection, trigger our judgment, trigger our condemnation, because they're things that for some reason we've decided can't be part of our story. And so if we are going to be able to work together, right, then we need to be able to take in the larger story. And every person that we are able to relate to who's different from us helps us expand our story. And if I were to use this just one more time, right, if it's right up against my face, I'm totally trapped in my perspective, right? But if I can push this away from me, and now I can see above it, now I can see below it, I can see around it. I'm taking in so much more information now about the situation. And with more information, I can be more creative. As long as I'm insisting on things be my way, I am trapped in my story. And so anytime I'm reactive, anytime I'm defensive, that means I am trapped in my story. I am insisting on things go the way I want them to go. That is a losing proposition, ultimately.
Yeah.